Well, again, authors, I'm really excited to continue working on our stories. In this lesson, we're going to be working on the middle of our stories. And just like in the last one, I'm going to give you a list of questions that I want you to think about and answer as you write your story. Just like in the last one, this is different from planning the story because we're not just writing the answers to it. We want to try to show the reader what the answers to these questions are and how they affect our story. So the questions that we want to ask in the middle are, what is the problem? In the first lesson, or the last lesson where we talked about the beginning, we talked about how your main character has a goal. Well, in the middle of the story, we're going to start to find out what is stopping your main character from getting their goal. This happens in every single story. I encourage you to go find books to read or movies to watch as you are working through these lessons. And as you read or watch them, I want you to ask, what is the main character's goal in this book or movie, and what is stopping them from getting that? Because it's going to be there in every single story. So now I want you to ask yourself and work on this as you write. What is stopping your main character from getting their goal? What is the problem? And how is it stopping your main character from getting their goal? Why is it creating trouble for them? It can be a big problem or a little problem. Some of my favorite books have pretty small problems. Nobody's dying, nobody has to save the world, but small problems can be just as interesting as big problems too. So whatever the kind of problem that works in your story is the right problem for your story to have. The next question is, how many things does your main character try to do to fix the problem? And what are these things? Now, there's something that you learn about in writing classes when you're an adult author that often comes up in the middle of stories, and this is called the try-fail cycle. The try-fail cycle, it basically just means that a lot of the time your main character is going to try several things in your story, and they are going to fail to solve the problem with those things that they try. And often, as we talked about in the video about Moana, when your main character tries one thing and it fails, then things actually get more difficult, and the problems that happen after that are bigger and more difficult for your main character to solve. But if that's too hard to think about, just think that often your main character is going to need to try a few things. And what are those things going to be? Then the next question to ask is, what happens when they try to fix it? What happens when they try the things that they're going to try? Do they work? Now, you might initially be going, well, of course, yeah, they work. Why else would I write about it? But here's the thing. In the middle, they probably don't work. Because in the middle, if the first thing that your main character tries to fix their problem works right away, then your story is kind of short. And you'll notice that a lot of the time, in probably many of your favorite books and movies, main characters will try a lot of different things, and each time they try something and then fail, and then have to try something again, then as a reader or as a watcher, your excitement gets higher because you're wondering, oh my goodness, is this going to be the time when they're able to succeed? And then finally, when they're in the end of the book or the movie and they do succeed, it's really exciting because you've watched them try and fail several times. So, although eventually you do want your main character to solve their problem, I would encourage you not to do that in the middle. Make them work for it a little bit. Make them try a few things before they figure out the solution to their problem. And then, so if the thing that they tried doesn't work, what happens when they have tried it? Does trying that thing that failed make things better, or does it make things worse? Show us what that looks like in your story. Now remember, this is just the middle section, and so we're not going to solve our problem quite yet. We're going to solve that in the end. Now, one of the difficult things about middles is that a lot of the time, this is where writers get stuck. Even grown-up, published, professional writers often get stuck in the middles. And so because of that, I am going to make a second video after this one that is about what to do if you find yourself stuck or unable to come up with ideas in the middle of your story. So after you're done watching this video, go right on to the next one and see my list of questions for storytellers to ask when you are stuck in the middle. Thanks for watching.